Hello everyone, MARKCHES here and welcome to the channel. For today's video, I'll be comparing the two sneakers that have a full-length Zoom X cushioning setup from Nike, and let's find out which one is for you. So on my right is a GT Cut 3, which is a full-length Zoom X, and this was released, I think, early this year or last year. I kind of forgot about it, but this one is new. This is the JA 3, and it also has a full-length Zoom X cushion. So let's compare them side by side. And let's start off first, of course, with the uppers of these two sneakers. So for my colorway of the GT Cut 3, I think it really depends too on what GT Cut 3 you have, and like the Black Label one, which has a full leather. Oh, that's a turbo, sorry. But for the general release, it really depends too on the colorway. Mine has a felt upper here and some textile on the side that has ripstop details on it. And even here on this textile, it has a lot of stitching. So overall, the feel of the materials here on the GT Cut 3 is very supportive. It doesn't stretch, which is really good for a very thin material. This material is really thin, but it doesn't have any give to it, which is nice. Even this gray area here, this doesn't stretch at all. It's like ripstop material with, yeah, it's still textile, but it's different, and there's a lot of fusing around here, this part. And what's nice about this sneaker is that the plastic goes up here, the one that's caging the cushion or the traction is part, I think it's part of the traction, yeah. It goes up here and it cages your lateral side and giving it a very nice lateral support. So for the lateral support, I would give it more to the GT Cut 3 compared to the JA 3s, which has a little bit of give on the lateral support, even though it's still good, but it has a bit more give compared to the GT Cut 3. So I'll give it to the GT Cut 3 on that aspect. But in terms of the design materials, I really like the execution of the JA 3. Like, if you're comparing this and you don't know how much, you would think that the JA 3 is more expensive because on how they implemented the materials here on the JA 3 with those tiny JA logos as a lateral support to it and screen mesh behind it. And you would see that this sneaker actually has a bit more effort to it in making it, but this is actually almost twice the price, or even 1/3 more expensive than the JA 3s if you're just looking at the retail price. Design wise, I'll go with this lateral support with this one. Mid-foot support, I would give it to the JA 3s because look how dense it is here in the mid part of the sneaker. And for the height, I would say the JA is higher on the lateral side. So if you want more ankle protection, the JA 3 is higher here compared to the GT Cut 3, which is lower. It's just below your ankle bone. So if you want more support, and plus it has more padding here around the ankles and even on the heel cushion. I like how the JA 3 cups my heel a bit more. So if you're into that, if you want that feel, but if you want more freedom on the ankle, or it's a really low cut sneaker, you would like the GT Cut 3 a bit more. But for me personal, I like the JA 3s because I can still move my ankle, but still has that very nice cushion all around my ankle too. Just for comfort wise, I would give it the JA 3 because when you wear it, you would feel like it's a little bit cozy around your foot. The GT Cut 3 is like straight performance. The materials are thin. It's not the comfiest around your foot. So I will give the comfort level to the JA 3s. So speaking of comfort too, that's another major difference between the two sneakers in terms of the cushion's comfort. Both have Zoom X, but the JA 3 has a thicker Zoom X unit. I mean, the full-length Zoom X is really thicker compared to the ones on the GT Cut 3. The GT Cut 3 is really low to the ground, but there's bounce to it. There's impact protection, but the one on the JA 3 is a little bit mushier. It's because it's thicker, I think. So I like it more because there's more cushion, more impact protection, there's more bounce in the forefoot, and a lot more mushier. I mean, it's softer when you're landing on the jaw trees compared to the GT Cut 3. But this one, if you're looking for something that's really, really low to the ground, the Zoom X of the GT Cut 3 is for you, because even though it's really low to the ground, there's still enough bounciness to the cushion, and it's very springy for how thin the profile of the Zoom X is. If you're a bigger player, or if you're someone who jumps a lot or a heftier guard, I think the jaw 3 will be better for you. But if you're someone who just likes to speed in the court, up and down the floor, and of course very shifty, the low profile of the GT Cut 3 will be better for you. As for the heel to toe transition, I would say better a bit on the GT Cut 3 because of how curved it is on the heel, and even the forefoot, the heel to toe transition. It's like a running shoe actually, the shape of it underneath your foot. There's a mid-foot strobo for torsional support. The jaw, I think there's a plate here because it's not bending too much, or this one really cages it, but there's support in it. But when you're running up and down the floor, it's still very good. But I like the jaw's stability on the forefoot wise compared to the GT Cut 3. GT Cut 3 is really made for running, I would say. And even though they're both wide, let's see how it's wider. The width is kind of similar in the forefoot, I would say. And even on the heel, yeah, pretty similar on the width of the shoe. But the base of the jaw feels more flat here on the edges, like there's an edge to it, while the GT Cut is a little bit more rounded on the edges of the sneaker, making the jaw a bit more stable, in my opinion, quicker to get your stability on your balance on the jaw trees. Now for the traction on both sneakers, I would say pretty much equal. They're very durable rubber. The squeak is there, doesn't catch too much dust, and even though there's a little bit of dust on the floor, still performs really, really good for the traction on both. I would say pretty much equal on the traction, but outdoor use, I would give it to the jaw because the patterns are a bit thicker compared to the ones on the GT Cut 3. And of course, the cushion is better on the jaw 3 for outdoor use. Now for the weight of these two sneakers, the jaw 3 is 409 grams on the US 11, 368 on the GT Cut 3. So 40 grams lighter on the GT Cut 3, but the jaw is also very light already for 409 grams on the US 11. And for me personally, I like that my shoe has a bit more weight to it, so I could feel there's a sense of security that my feet are being protected. But I still enjoyed playing with the GT Cut 3, but if you're letting me choose between both, honestly, I will still pick the jaw 3 on SRP because I think I like the cushion a bit more on the jaw 3s, plus the mid part or in the heel protection and comfort that I get from the jaw 3. Given that this is more expensive than the jaw 3s by 3,000 pesos here, so that's around how much? Wait, let me compute. So 3,000 is around $60 difference between these two. So, but the GT Cut 3, because it's older, there's a lot of colorways that are on sale now. So it really depends on your style of play. For me, because I'm a bit of a heavier player, that's why I like the jaw 3 a bit more compared to the GT Cut 3. So let me know what your thoughts are and which one you would choose between these two. All right. So this has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by this channel. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.